Subscribe, please.
I was so nervous to film, and then I would say something that I thought would be funny and would elicit like a reaction, and there'd be no laugh. And so the way some of them were sitting, it looked like they were just sitting like, you know, laid back in their chair, just like looking at me, but in reality, their eyes were closed. And I realized this because a few minutes into me, like, wow, I'm really bombing at this because no one's laughing. They're not reacting. Like, this is a dead audience. I hear...
They're snoring.
And I'm like, oh, they're asleep. Okay. But that's how I feel right now. Hey guys, welcome back. This is not another Gimpys Gal Guesses. First of all, it's been a while since I've done anything because a lot of stuff has been going on. We'll get to all of that later, but this is not a guesses. This is more just like an unboxing because it wouldn't be fair to do this game as a guesses because this game kind of is related to pretty much the game that started it all for me, and that's Warhammer
The Adventure
Quest, the adventure card game. When I was pregnant with McKenna, I think this was almost 2 years ago. Well, 2 years ago in October. So this past October was 2 years ago. I was pregnant with her. It was 2016. There was a hurricane coming through where we live, and our power went out, and it was really, really bad. So we went to the hotel so that Bradley, you know, would have things to keep him entertained, and we just did not want to be without power. So we went to a hotel, and he brought this game with him. It's a game I think he'd been wanting to try for a while, and since we were going to be in the hotel, he assumed, hey, let's try it out. And reluctantly, I agreed to try it, and then I was like hooked. I just wanted to play it over and over again, and it kind of led to me being more willing to try games that he suggested. Not always. He has tried to get me to play something. I'm just like, look, I can't do this. But that one really I love. It's probably, I don't even know why. Did I include it in my top 10 as one of my favorites?
I think so, yeah. If
I didn't, it definitely should have been an honorable mention or should have been in there because it's really a fun game. This isn't necessarily the sequel. It
has to do with licensing.
Yeah, so it's because of licensing, it's not a sequel, but it's similar to that. So that's why I'm not guessing this one because I guess the way you play it instead of, I haven't looked in here, so I don't know. But it says a cooperative card game of questing and adventure for 1 to 4 players. So similar to that. So that's why I'm not guessing it. But I haven't played it, haven't seen inside of here yet. So it's called Heroes of Terrinoth. It is by Fantasy Flight. This is the front of the box, which I really like the colors on this. This looks nothing like the Warhammer Quest one because that one was very plain and tans and darks. This is very bright and colorful. But yeah, it says, let's see. Oh, it was designed by Adam Sandler. I'm just kidding. It says Adam Sattler and Brady Sattler. Anything else on the front? So it says cooperative card game for questing and adventure 1 to 4 players. So if this is like the one I've played before, it's, I don't know how to explain it. We'll just take a look at it and see. It is so much fun. And I didn't even know this existed or that we were going to have it. Gimpy went to play X-Wing the other night at Gamers Armory, which, by the way, that's like our all-time favorite store. It's local to us. He always puts the information in the description box, so if you're ever curious about what his favorite store is, it's always in the description, but it's called Gamers Armory, and he was there last night to play X-Wing and came home with this. And at first, I'm like, oh, great, another game. Like, wow, what a surprise. And then he tells me it's very similar to that other game that I loved. So I was a little less, you know, upset and a little more like, oh, okay. If it benefits me or if Gimpys Gal likes it, then that's okay. Sorry, they're a little stiff in the beginning. All right. I'm not going to leave it in the front because we're kind of close up. So let me just take the contents out and then we'll... Okay. So on the back, it says, strike back at the foes of Terrinoth. Just kind of gives you a little story probably of what the deal is. As the ancient blood guard sows discord in the free cities, an undead army arises to threaten the Mistlands. Terrinoth needs new champions. In Heroes of Terrinoth, you and your friends fight back against deadly creatures and powerful foes. Take on the role of unique heroes, upgrade into new powerful classes to expand your abilities, and conquer 8 perilous quests, each with its own special dangers. So we do have the contents on the back. It says 12 playable heroes. So this one doesn't have figures, if I remember, like the other game, the War Hero one. It did not have like little meeples or anything. It's cards, and it's all pretty much card dice related. There are some counters, but they're not really a huge chunk of the game. Mostly that's dice and your cards and that kind of thing. So we have 8 customizable classes. Can you drink? 19 enemy types, 26 explorable locations. I'm remembering more and more how this game plays, or the other one plays, as I'm reading the contents. 8 challenging nemesis, 3 acquirable conditions, and 6 custom dice. So that is the back of the box, and those are the contents I just read out. So inside we have a Fantasy Flight Games catalog in case you're wanting to brush up on your Fantasy Flight material and stock up on that. It is close to Christmas, so I mean, I guess for a nerd, this is the same as like a, you know, JCPenney catalog, so yay. Then we have the rule book, and then we have our cards, our dice, and counters. These are, I believe, the location cards, if I remember correctly, or like the, yeah, okay. So these are the counters. I'm not going to poke them all out because I'll let Gimpy organize them, but this is what they look like. You have some stars, you have this big torch here, which I think might be, where this little hourglass might be whose turn it is. I know there's like a turn token, you like take turns between the two. Even though you're technically on the same team, because it is a cooperative card game and you're trying to defeat these nemesis. And basically there's like different levels and different locations, and each location, each kind of quest gets harder. The enemies can be harder, there could be more enemies, but it's really fun, and it's not super long. Does it say how long the game played? 14 and up, 1 to 4 players, 45 minutes. So it is not a long gameplay either. So one of these is like the turn token. I don't know if that's the torch or this little hourglass here, but one of those is, and we have some number 1s that say number 3 on the back. These are, I'm trying to remember without reading the rule book because I love this game so much and it's coming back to me, but the little details I'm not remembering. But these have something to do with like your attacks or your injuries or something like that. And then we have some more numbers. We have 1 and 3 on the other side, and then these stars, a whole lot of those stars. So those are the tokens, not a ton of them, but they do come in handy, obviously. And then these are, I think, like the quests. Let's just take these out and look at them because we're not guessing. I'm going to look at the rule book, but mainly this is just to show you kind of a preview because we are going to do a playthrough of this probably in the next week or so. We'll get that up, but we just wanted to kind of show you this, and I like doing unboxes, and since I don't have one to guess, which there should be a few games arriving, but I did want to mention with the mail being the way that it is with the holidays, some things are getting here a lot later than they should. Part of it is the mail, part of it is some of these companies are sending things out later than what originally we were told. So that's why there hasn't been a guesses up in a while. It's not that we just dropped the ball, but we can't always get new games in for me to guess. So sometimes there might be a little bit of a, you know, dip in that, just waiting for things to get here. So anyways, let's see if we can. So we have the Goblin Problem, a Foul Ritual, Battle in the Mistlands, the Curse Codex, the High Ground, the Dreadful Menagerie, the Siege of Asthel, and the Silvered Mirror. I think, yeah, so if I remember, and again, I'm going to clarify when I go through the rule book, but this is like the different phases of the quest, and that's what this represents, like these different symbols and colors. So as you progress, you move your one of these tokens. I think maybe the hourglass token goes on here, maybe the torch is who goes first. We'll figure that out for sure here in a second. That's my guess. And as you move along here, different things will happen. So for example, in this gray area, I guess nothing really happens. And then once you get to a green, down here, it will show you what happens when you're on a green. So it says, in a show of coordination, perhaps more dumb luck than tactical planning, the goblins encircle you to foul your pursuit. For each goblin in play, the party leader, so the torch is probably for the party leader. The party leader chooses one hero to suffer 1, I'm assuming that's damage, each hero upgrades an activation card. So all of them have different little things like that. And you'll notice there's gray, green, blue, and then this like brownish red color. Each of these 3 stages, so once you move to those 3 phases, this is what will happen. And it's like a little thing that makes it more difficult. Like this one said, if you have a goblin in play, the party leader has to choose one of the heroes to suffer a damage, but you get to upgrade an activation card. So I believe that is one of these is the activation card, obviously, but it's like your weapons or your special abilities and things like that. The blue one says more goblins circle around behind you, blah, 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 blah. Spawn 1 goblin from the enemy discard pile engaged with each hero. Each hero upgrades an activation card. So you can see it kind of adds like a little screw into your plans and messes things up for you, but it gives you that kind of reward. It's like, I'm going to throw a wrench in your plans and make things hard, but I'm going to give you a benefit, and that's when you get to upgrade one of your activation cards. So I hope I'm explaining this. I'm explaining it as I remember it, but I'm going to go through the rule book and kind of break it down more. And when we do our actual playthrough, we'll actually tell you how everything specifically works. I'm just kind of giving you an unboxing / Gimpys Gal version of how to play this. So that's what these are. These are like the different quests or levels or whatever you want to call them. That's what these represent, and they do get harder as you go on. So that is what those are. And then, excuse me, we have, these look like your activation cards because these are enemies, it looks like. So let's look, and here's the dice, by the way. So there's 3 black, 3 white. I think each hero gets, you roll 3, I guess, and you just kind of share them with the other hero, and then the black ones are what you roll for the other people. So if you're fighting some goblins, I think the black dice is what they roll, maybe. I don't remember, but there's 6. 3 white, 3 black. That is what they look like. I'll show you each side really quickly before I do the cards. So we have, okay, so they are different. So on the black one, you have a skull on one side. You have, looks like 2 blank sides. You have this little star figure on 1, 2, 3. So yeah, you have 1, 2, 3 stars, 2 blank sides, and 1 skull. That's what's on the black dice. I think they're all the same, right? Yeah. Then the white dice, so I think those are for what the enemy rolls. I think you roll those for each enemy. And then this is for you. And each of these symbols means something, and it'll tell us in the rule book. Let's see. Okay. So this is a success. A critical success is this. Defense is the little shield. Counterattack is that little star on the black one, this little star here. That means counterattack. The skull means threat. And then it says success token and wound. Let's see. So that's what these are. Success token and a wound. So these stars are the success tokens, and the numbered ones are your wounds. So you have 1s and 3s, so you can kind of minimize and maximize and, you know, blah, 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 blah. So hope that made sense. So those are the dice and what each of those symbols means and what the counters mean. And I'm pretty sure, does it say the torch, I think, is for the team. Yeah, party leader token is the torch, and then the peril token is the little hourglass. The peril token is what you move along this little truck up here when you're playing through. All right, so now that we've gotten through that, let's look at these cards, and then I'll go through the rule book super quickly because I don't want to make this too long. So I think these are the activation cards, and I say that because there's different colors, and depending on who you play as, you have access to different things in relation to these cards. And it's like, this says field medicine, so like an ability, something you or your player could do. Here you have clobber, so you have a weapon. Forage, so you have some abilities and some weapons here that come into play. And then we have like natural remedy, so these are like types of spells and things like that. Calming presence, so yeah, they're just different abilities or weapons or healing potions, things like that that your player, your hero, will get access to throughout the game. And then, because you start off with so many, I believe, and then you can get more as you play, and they upgrade and they change and they get better. This looks like the enemy cards because they have like little goblin symbol up in the top. Looks like an ogre of some sort. Looks like a demon or something. And then here's the little goblin I'm talking about up here in this corner. And then little ogre guys. So I'm not sure what all of these are, but I'm going to keep them separated so we can know. And then you have 4 reference cards. So if there are 4 players, you each have your reference card. Then these, I believe, are like the enemy cards, like who you're going to be fighting. So these might be the hero cards too. Yeah, I think these are the hero cards. These are the enemy cards. So we have zombies, cave spider, rat swarm. And the thing is, depending on which, where you're at on the peril track, will depend what level of enemy you spawn. And as you go through the game, the enemies get harder. So you might fight a rat swarm more than once, but it'll be a more difficult one as the game progresses. But just to give you an idea of some of them, so we have goblin archers and reanimate archer, hybrid sentinel. So yeah, these are just the enemy cards. So these are what will spawn throughout. And then these are the hero cards. So this is who you get to choose from. I think it said there's like 12 different heroes and like 8 different classes or something like that. So we have an elder mock. And it does have, like, each of them have special abilities. This number, I don't know what it means. We'll find out when we look in the book, but it means something, obviously. So there's 3 in that same kind of color range, if you see. Elder Mog, Asherian, and Averick Albright. Krutzbeck, Sindrail, One Fist. Those are all red. Astara, Lisa, Landrick the Wise are all in this yellow. Sorry. Tethery's Tomble Burrowel and Carrie Wraith Stalker are all in this green. So just to show you some of these. These are the heroes. So the color is like what class you're in. I don't know what each of them is yet, but you can see there's 4 different classes and there's 3 in each one. I think they upgrade. Like, if you play as one, I don't know, I'm confused a little bit. So let's just open up the rule book and before I confuse myself even more. Then these are like action type cards, I think, like if something happens. Or I think if you defeat an enemy, you get to draw one of these. There are some good and some bad. So we have poisoned, weakened, and focused. Those are like specific cards. You're not going to draw those. Then the rest of these, those are the same, and these are the same. So these are like items that you can get, like little special items throughout that you can get separate from like your abilities and things like that. These are like little prizes you can sometimes pick up throughout the quest. So like a Book of Stars, Precarious Footing, Hiding Spot, Tangled Web, Uncommon Alley, Blood Guard Codex, just for example. And then these say like during the hero phase, after all heroes have activated, the party leader chooses a hero to activate a second time. So you get to activate 1 time each turn. And I forget what the deal is with the points, if it takes so many points to activate, or you have these different cards. I don't remember. Let's just look at this and this will make it a little bit easier. All right, so it says the objective is players choose a quest to play. So I believe that is what these are. Which may involve saving townsfolk, slaying a powerful monster, or recovering a valuable artifact. Each quest has a corresponding quest sheet, which describes setup, special rules, and the hero's objective. So that's what's on the back of this. So it tells you setup and how to win, how do you lose, what you need, all that's on the back of whatever quest you choose. So we have all the components listed out here. So setup. So you choose your quest. So that, again, that's what these big cards are. You create your enemy deck. So it'll tell you in the setup how many you need. Like on this one, the Silvered Mirror, it says special setup instructions. Enemies, there are none. Locations, do not use quarters. and exploration. Place the critical moment, gap in the armor, uncommon alley, and the way out exploration cards. That is what, where are the exploration cards? These? No, exploration. It's gotta be these, yeah. So you go through here and find it, or no, that's what these exploration cards right here. Maybe, I don't know. Find the exploration card. It shows you right here. But that's the special setup instructions, and it says we have 2 trivial sets and 2 challenging sets. That's for the enemies. 1 challenging location based on, I don't know. It breaks it all down for you on the back of here. I'm not the greatest at explaining these, obviously. And it's been a while since I played a game that's similar to this, so I can't remember perfectly. But basically, you're going to choose the quest that you want to play. On the back, it will tell you setup. It will tell you how to set up each of your decks because there are different decks. You will choose your hero and go from there. So it says you create your enemy deck. You shuffle the enemy cards into 1 or more stacks as specified by the quest sheet. So it literally tells you on each quest exactly how to do it. After shuffling the stacks, place them on top of each other in the order shown on the quest sheet. And then it says enemy cards are added to stacks in sets. Each enemy set has 3 cards with the same name, 2 minions, and one more powerful master. Always add all 3 cards to the enemy deck. Return all other enemy cards to the game box. So it's just saying if it tells you to add the ogres, you add all 3 levels of ogres to the deck, not just the easy one or not just the master. You add all of them. Then it says you create a location deck, shuffle the location cards. Is that what these are? Yeah, these are the location cards. It says you shuffle the location cards into 1 or more stacks, again, as specified on the quest sheet. After shuffling each stack, place them on top of each other, again, how it tells you on the quest sheet. Unlike enemy cards, these decks do not have sets, so each location card is its own unique individual card, and you just return whatever card you're not using back to the box. So it's really easy in the setup because it literally just tells you what cards and what stacks you're going to use and how to stack them up, what order to put them in. So it makes it super easy as far as setup goes. Then you create your exploration deck, same thing. You kind of just shuffle in the cards. It's going to tell you what cards to use and you are going to shuffle those. Exploration cards are divided into a base set of 12 cards and additional sets of 5. Each card has the name of the set to which it belongs and the colored banner on the card. So where are these? It's those blue. These. All right, so these are the exploration cards right here with this little symbol on the back, and it says they each say what they belong to. So if you can see at the bottom, these are really tiny, I'm sorry, but it says base at the bottom of that. So you have base, village, wild, dungeon, darkness, several different ones, but that's what it means when it tells you that these are a part of like a group. It tells you in the bottom right hand or the bottom left hand corner what group they belong to. And then let's go on to this next page here. You prepare your enemies the same way. You're basically just going to follow the steps on the back of the quest card and set up each of your decks, and then you choose your hero. So when you get down to the choose hero, this is after you have prepared your nemesis, place quest and peril token. So you set your card up and you put your peril token at the beginning slot where it shows you on here where to put it. And then you create your supply. It says you separate the wound tokens, success tokens, progress tokens, and condition cards, placing them in all dice and piles in reach of all players. So you just are going to set these up so that whenever you need one, you'll be able to reach them. Then you choose your hero. So it says each player chooses one of the 4 available hero types, which is a hero, a mage, a scout, or a warrior, and collect the hero cards and activation cards for that hero. Each player chooses one of those hero cards and places that card and hero archetypes 4 basic activation cards face up in front of them. This is their play area. Return unused heroes to the game box. So basically you're going to choose one of these, who you want to play as. Each of these has, right here, nope, in this stack here, I think. Yeah, there's different colors that coordinate with the hero. And it'll tell you what you get in each quest. It's really, honestly, just reading the back. You basically select a quest. The back of the quest will tell you what the goal of this game is. How do you win? how do you lose this quest, and how do you set it up. So it's really simple as far as that goes, because you're not having to figure out a lot of it on your own or remember a lot of it. You're really just following instructions on the back of the quest card. And it really does a great job of showing you everything in this rulebook. So rather than drawing this on and on and on and on, I'm going to end it here because I think I've given you a pretty good idea of what's in it and the general gameplay of it. And as I said, we are going to be doing a playthrough of it. Probably, I would say, expect it up within a week. I don't want to give you an exact time frame because there's been a lot going on and Christmas is next week. So we will try to get it up as soon as possible, but definitely be looking for a Heroes of Terrinoth playthrough from us. But if you like this game, if you've played it, let us know in the comments below. If you want to see this playthrough, go ahead and like the video. Make sure you're subscribed and all that jazz because that helps us out. That's how we know to keep posting these videos because it takes time. We have 2 kids and you know how it is. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this and be looking for the playthrough of this. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Cramped up in this corner here.
You okay there, Pudgy?
Oh, that was my hip. Ow.